Am I the a-hole for telling my sister she wasn't the only one affected by our mom's death? My mom passed away almost 5 years ago. At the time, I was 24 years old, and my younger sister was only 17. Losing mom was devastating for all of us, but my sister took it especially hard. According to my dad, she had nightmares for months afterward. He would wake up in the middle of the night to comfort her, bring her water, and help her calm down. For the first year of college, she stayed living at home with him before eventually moving out. A couple of years later, Dad started dating again. When he told us, my sister completely broke down. She cried, begged him not to date, and was so upset that Dad ended the relationship. Then it happened again. Dad met someone else, and the exact same thing happened. My sister reacted so strongly that he ended that relationship too. Dad always said she was young and still grieving, so he didn't want to push her. Then last year, Dad started seeing another woman. This time, things seemed serious. She had 2 young sons, and honestly, she seemed great. Dad looked happy for the first time in years. I wanted him to be happy. But when Dad suggested spending Christmas together with his girlfriend and her kids, my sister immediately objected. She told him Christmas was supposed to be their safe space. She said it was one of the last traditions they still had connected to Mom. And sure enough, Dad backed down. Later, my sister kept asking me if I thought Dad was going to marry this woman. I told her I didn't know, but if he wanted to, I hoped he would. Then one day in our family group chat, my sister announced she was moving back home after graduation. That's when I learned Dad had already agreed. And honestly, I got frustrated. It felt like the same pattern all over again. I believed she was moving back specifically because Dad had a serious girlfriend. I told her exactly that. She said she wanted to be close to Dad and live in the house that held memories of Mom. That's when I snapped. I told her to stop weaponizing Mom's death. I said she acted like she was the only one who lost her. I said she was manipulating Dad and trying to stop him from moving forward with his life. Dad immediately started texting me to stop. My sister left the group chat. Later, she sent me a long message calling me an a-hole and saying her relationship with Dad was none of my business. Even worse, Dad took her side, and that hurt more than anything. Make sure you follow for more videos posted daily. Now here's where things get interesting. The comments were completely divided. Some people said my sister desperately needed therapy and that Dad had been enabling her grief for years. One commenter said she was trying to keep Mom alive by freezing everything exactly as it was before Mom passed away. They argued that in her mind, moving on felt like losing Mom all over again. Others thought I was completely wrong. One commenter pointed out that I was already an adult when Mom died. My sister was still a teenager. They argued that losing a parent at 17 is very different from losing one at 24. According to them, I was unfairly judging how she processed grief. That comment hit me hard. Update. After reading everyone's opinions, I decided to talk to Dad. I suggested therapy for my sister. Dad wasn't completely against it, but he worried she'd feel attacked if he brought it up himself. So he told me I could suggest it if I wanted. A few months later, during spring break, I got my chance. My sister had already started moving some of her belongings back home. While we were talking privately, I asked her how things were going with Dad's girlfriend. She brushed it off. I asked whether Dad's girlfriend had any feelings about her moving back in. My sister basically said, "Why would she care? I'm moving back to my house." That answer shocked me. Dad's girlfriend spent time there. She stayed over. Her children visited. Of course she would have thoughts about it. Trying to be more careful this time, I apologized for not being around more after Mom died. Then I gently suggested therapy. It did not go well. She immediately asked if I thought she was crazy. She insisted there was nothing wrong. A few weeks later, everyone got together for Easter. Dad's girlfriend was there. Her 2 sons were there. And my sister barely acknowledged them. Maybe a sentence or 2 all day. That's it. She only talked to me and Dad. I even pulled her aside and told her it looked rude. Her response? "We don't have anything in common. What am I supposed to talk about?" At that point, I remembered what many people had told me. This wasn't my battle. So I stepped back. And eventually, my sister officially moved back in. She even landed a work-from-home job that made it easy for her to stay there permanently. A lot of commenters predicted disaster. Some said she'd slowly drive away Dad's girlfriend. Others said Dad was sacrificing his future relationships because he couldn't say no to her. One commenter even wrote, "Sometimes you need to let people be messy." And honestly, maybe they were right. Final update. Recently, I visited Dad's house. I ended up staying overnight. And something surprised me. Dad seemed happy, really happy. My sister had settled in. She was helping with chores, making dinner, spending time with him. The two of them had even started taking evening walks together. When Dad and I were alone, I mentioned the therapy conversation. He immediately told me to let it go. He said she seemed to be doing well, and looking around, maybe he was right. I realized something important. All this time, I was so worried about Dad being lonely. I felt guilty that I hadn't been around enough after Mom passed. I wanted him to move on. I wanted my sister to move on. But maybe I was trying to control a situation that wasn't mine to control. Do I still think Dad's girlfriend is good for him? Absolutely. Do I think that relationship may be in trouble? Probably. But Dad is an adult. My sister is an adult. And ultimately, those choices belong to them.